So today I felt inspired to talk about determinism, but specifically determinism in relation to free will, because there's a really negative connotation attached to determinism, and yet somehow determinism within nature ensures that everything will not only survive but thrive just by following its nature. But human beings, because we have free will, we believe that determinism is somehow it makes us oppressed, or that we're a victim or to our environment, or that we're living passively somehow. But so my intention is to shatter that myth and just to share my perspective, because my perspective is very different from most people's. So when I think of determinism, I think of starlings. Starlings are amazing. And if you've heard of a murmuration before, you'll know what I mean. So starlings are a species of bird that are known to fly together in this incredible flock. And it moves like a school of fish. And you get, thousands of these things in like a huge cloud of birds. And you have this scenario where these individual birds are so obviously a single cell within a greater single organism. The way they fly in unison, the shapes that they form. Now, this is determinism. They're not choosing to move in a way where they are part of one unified whole. They're just following their own nature, oblivious to whether there's a symmetrical pattern or whether they're in unison, or whether they have to behave in a different way in order to move as one. They're just always following their nature, continually following their nature. And so determinism simply means that you trust. You trust that what you are manifesting. No, I mean, obviously a starling doesn't think about things like that, because free will choice doesn't exist in their world. There's just a total allowing of their nature to arise. And so the same is with human beings, where we think that in order to be in control of our lives or to be in the driver's seat, that we need to be making conscious choices about everything that we do. And it's quite the opposite, actually. We have to be conscious of what we want. We have to be conscious about what it is we want, and revealing and expressing the truth of what it is we want by understanding the meaning of the words that we're using to express what it is we want, by feeling the truth of the energy within us and ensuring that our words are a match to it as we express it into the world. That's how we radiate energy into the world. Well, it's one of the ways. And so determinism, what seems like determinism, is in truth a state of allowing ourselves to receive what it is we've created, because we've created everything either consciously or unconsciously. So determinism, you can kind of let go of that as a concept, because all that matters is, do you trust what you've created? Do you trust yourself enough to allow yourself to receive what it is you've created, and then follow your instincts? And the answer for most people was no, they don't, because the universe still feels antagonistic. because it feels like there's always something that we have to be doing in order to get what we really want, that it's not possible for us to just receive what it is we've already created. And the reason for that is because we do not trust ourselves as creators. We do not trust what we've created. And so we cannot trust ourselves implicitly enough to just receive what it is we've created. And how that relates to topics such as discipline, for example. So many people will argue, of course, that discipline is positive. It's a positive thing. If you've got a goal you need to get towards, that you need to reach, and that if that goal is in alignment with what it is your soul truly wants, what your heart really wants, then it makes sense to be disciplined. If you want to win a gold medal in sprinting, then it would make sense to be disciplined enough to train every day as hard as you can. And what makes this different to another scenario of discipline is that you have an authentic desire and a passion. And so the discipline you think you have, it feels good to apply it, because within yourself you feel as though you are elevating yourself further and further towards the peak of your mountain. Every day you're disciplined, it means to you that you're getting closer and closer to the summit of your mountain. And so the truth is, the meaning is actually the only thing that matters. What does it mean to you to be disciplined? And is that discipline that you're expressing, what does it mean? Does it mean that if you are disciplined in this way, you are now able to X? Are you unaware of what it means to be disciplined in that way? The meaning is all that matters. And I think the hidden truth for many people is likely to be more around the fact that they have an inner bully that is wanting to express itself through discipline. And I think this aspect, based on my own experience, it's an infiltrator. It wants to infiltrate your nature, your authentic nature, the part of you that would just thrive if you were able to totally allow and totally trust what it is you're creating. Because in that, if you trusted your own nature, you would allow all of your impulses, your thoughts, your feelings, your inspiration, you would trust all of them. You'd realize that every thought is you receiving. It's you receiving a vision for a future potential that exists for your spirit to realize an even higher potential than it's capable of realizing right now. Every thought, and yes, it may be negative. It may draw you into an emotion that makes you feel negative, that causes you to express a repressed emotion or reveal a repressed desire, accept a repressed truth. But if you really trust yourself, if you really trust that you are the creator of everything, and then you will trust yourself to follow your nature relentlessly. And that means to follow the impulses within your body, to follow every thought that you receive, to sit with every emotion you experience so that you uncover the hidden meaning, because meaning is all that matters. What does this thought mean? What does this feeling mean to me? And unless we know what those things mean to us, we are truly unconscious of what we're creating. And the antagonist will be very present in our lives. The inner bully that's bullying us, bullying our mind, bullying our body, bullying our emotions into following a path that we believe is right. that goes against the nature of the universe. So we don't trust the nature of the universe. We don't trust that if I get a thought, that's the ideal thought for me to be receiving in that moment. But we don't believe that the emotion that I'm feeling right now is valid. The inner bully is powerful. It's the part of us that has to take control in a scenario where the reality is that we are devoid of trust, of self. That we're terrified of being blindsided somehow. That some catastrophe or some cataclysmic event's going to happen. And the antagonist, in truth, is trying to prevent that from happening. If I just stay disciplined, then X, Y, Z. The antagonist can create a story around, oh, I can see I'm feeling this way, or I can see, actually, I want to rest today, or actually, I want to be at peace today, or actually, I don't want to force myself to do anything that I don't want to do today. When we can allow ourselves completely to just surrender to the moment, that's when we know we've accomplished self-trust. And until that moment, our inner bully will be very present, trying to take control, trying to prevent a future event from happening, because we don't really trust our ability to create what we want. And the real reason we don't trust our ability to create what we want is because we know at a deeper level that we haven't acknowledged what it is we really want. And so the antagonist is trying to get what it is the soul wants. It has a very important job, actually. It's trying to get us what we actually want without having to reveal what it is we want. So if I'm disciplined in this way, if I do this and then that and then that, that's what will get me what I want. Whereas the nature of the universe, the way that it works, if we just revealed what it is we want, if we use words to express what it is that we want, that are that carry the energy of that desire, if we choose words that to us mean what it is, mean what the truth of that desire is, and we express that authentically, asking it is given. Every impulse you receive will be in relation to that desire, to the expression of it. Every thought, every feeling, every impulse of the body. That may mean that if you were to follow all of the impulses of your body, you'd be eating ice cream every day, or you would be eating pizza every day. But that's a fear. Again, it's a lack of trust. Or if I was to purely follow my emotions and my impulses, I would be the size of a house. I'd be eating everything under the sun. This is just revealing a lack of self-trust. And it's revealing a deeper belief about what food is. Because just like the universe, we're a universe unto ourselves. In the universe, you have black holes, and they're magnetic in nature. You have suns that are birthed through a black hole, and they radiate. Those are the two forces of the universe: radiation, magnetization, those two polar opposite forces. And in the same way, there's an aspect of you that wants to draw energy in and magnetize it to you. And there's a part of you that wants to radiate it. And in the same way, eating food, all food is light. Black holes, they swallow light. And so when you bring energy into your body, when you bring light into your body, that's all that it is. As above, so below. It's a microcosm of a black hole drawing light into itself. But in the universe, a black hole doesn't discriminate. It doesn't say, oh, this frequency of light is not good for me. I can only limit myself to consuming these frequencies of light. All the others are not good for me. Meaning is all that matters. Meaning is all that matters. What you believe about the food that you're eating, what you believe about the frequencies that are coming into your body is what's outwardly manifesting. And again, it comes down to trust. Do I trust that my body is capable of far more than I could ever imagine or even comprehend? Do I trust that the purpose of my body is to fulfill the desire of my soul? Do I trust that the purpose of my mind is to contain my spirit and protect my spirit from the consequences of truths that may limit my ability to soar and realize my highest potential? Do I trust that? Do I trust that the mind will sacrifice itself to protect my perspective, to protect the innocence, the purity of my truth, until some day that I'm evolved enough or mature enough to accept the deepest truths of who and what I am, and that is that I'm a spirit experiencing itself, unfolding, realizing higher and higher potentials of what it is I can become. Do I trust that that's the purpose of the mind? Do I trust that it's keeping me safe? Do I trust that every thought is holding a vision for a higher and higher potential I can become and realize? Do I trust that every thought it's the purpose of that thought is to reveal a deeper truth no sooner than the moment I'm actually ready to accept it? It's all about trust. And when you go to really deep levels, when you get to the point where you can go within yourself and find the entire universe, you can go back to the moment that when you were pure spirit, when you were just a primordial substance, you were just one thing in existence. before you were even truly aware of I am. You were just is. You hear lots of people in the spiritual circles saying everything just is. Yeah. And I've always wondered whether they actually really understand what that means. Everything just is means that in the beginning, before the perspective of I am, was the perspective of is. Pure isness. Everything is. But it's pre-manifestation. It's before even awareness existed. It was choiceless awareness. And this is our truest nature. This is our deepest nature. This is the very core of the being of every human being. Isness. And this is why the mind exists. It's to protect the power of that innocence. Because when you are devoid of perspective or perception, you're capable of anything. Because the only thing that prevents manifestation is belief. And belief can be described really simply as what everything means to us. The purity of the is energy means it is unsullied by perception, infinite in its potential. And when the mind arose from the substance, from the isness, it was to contain the essence and the purity of the spirit and protect it from truths that could corrupt its perception, the purity of its perception, so that it could continually become more and more and more, so that it would never be limited by the consequences of a truth that was too traumatic to accept. It is totally devoted to the spirit realizing its highest potential. And when the mind arose, this was the birth of the perspective of I am. I am that. Because it's not until you hold the perspective of the observer and the observed, where, to bring it into human terms, you're looking out of your own eyes, having a human experience, but you're also observing yourself. The observer and the observed. I am that. And this is the unfoldment of the spirit becoming more and more of what it is, of what it has the potential to become. I am that. I am that. I'm this. I'm that. Oh, I'm that. I'm that. Which means I can become this. Oh, I'm this as well, which means I can now become that. I can become that. And the mind, every thought is a gift, revealing a deeper truth that from the mind's perspective can see that the spirit is now ready to accept this truth, and now this truth, and now this truth, without hampering its ability to evolve, without hampering its capacity to become more, so that it remains infinite in nature, continually expanding never limited by a perception or a perspective. In some cases, it will be limited by perspective, like for a human being. But it will bring forth an experience where the spirit can then reclaim the hidden truth in order to expand forward in that moment. At the ideal time, from its perspective, not from our limited human consciousness, free will choice perspective. Why would you do that? Why would you override nature with your free will? We're not equipped to make decisions. Oh no, this is not the right time for me to receive that thought. Oh no, this isn't the right time for me to follow my instinct. Oh no, I'll follow this instinct later. I'll stay with this thought and follow it to its fruition this afternoon. I will resist this urge to eat this piece of food. Because if I eat it, it means that I'm killing myself, or I'm putting toxins in my body, or all of these beliefs limiting our infinite nature. Fear of what might happen if I ate that thing. It takes much more courage to trust an impulse and an urge than it does to resist it. Or to, as some people would say, exert discipline. Far more courage. Because if I want to eat that chocolate now, what happens if I want to eat more in an hour? And then I'm trusting that. And what happens if I just end up eating chocolate all day, every day? Surrendering to your impulses, to your desires, to your urges, and trusting that everything is a gift that you're receiving in every moment, elevating you to higher and higher levels, is extremely courageous. It's the height of courage. It may be from the perspective of your mind, in your best interest to eat chocolate for every meal and to put on a whole bunch of weight so that you can have an experience that will unearth a deeper truth about yourself and enable you and allow you to step into your more infinite nature. And then the weight to fall off. And then to come to a state of awareness where you realize that you're actually becoming self-reliant. That the desire to consume light in the form of putting food into your body becomes less and less as you become aware that you are becoming a son, and that you can be your own source of energy. You see, everything is leading us into a higher and higher state. Everything. There is no need for discipline. There is only need for trust. And if you choose to exert discipline in your life, to resist any aspect of your nature, then the trust will come at some point. That's perfect for you now. But know that there's a moment in the future, in your future, where you will have total trust and you will receive every aspect of your experience and allow it to unfold into higher and higher states. Yes, often by going deeper and deeper into your shadows. And in fact, it's inevitable. But your brightest light is contained within your darkest shadows. The greatest beauty is held within the most repulsive and repellent darkness. When you can love those parts of yourself, when you can understand them to such an extent that they bear their essence to you, they bear their soul to you. The desire for what they want to show you, your shadows, your shadow aspects, is so profound and beautiful that you won't want to live any other way than symbiotically with your light and your shadow. Then in a state of total trust and allowing of your true nature to unfold and illuminate deeper and deeper truths of not just who you are, but of what you're capable of becoming. And of the relentless, I would say, thirst to taste and experience more and more of the flavors that are available. Okay, have a good one. Catch you soon. Cheers for now.